Today I'm going to talk to you about something very important. You've probably experienced this too, sometimes. After just a 10-minute conversation with someone, you feel like you've lost all your energy for the day. That's not a coincidence. It's a silent attack, and it's not just about bad vibes. This is an invisible war waged against your mental freedom. Toxic people smile at your face, but pour poison into your soul. They don't destroy you through shouting or open hostility. They break you down slowly. A bit of your self-confidence, a bit of your joy, a bit of your worth disappears every day. And do you know what hurts the most? You allow it, because your desire to be a good person pushes you into limitless compassion. But this chain must be broken. This video is not just about motivation. It's about the art of self-protection. I'll show you the smartest, calmest, and strongest way to deal with toxic people. No emotional outbursts, no need for revenge. You'll do it while remaining untouchable. If you don't want to be alone on this journey, subscribe to the channel now, because here we learn how to grow stronger in silence. And in every new video, we'll face truths that protect you more and free you more. Toxic people aren't like the ones in movies, wearing black and looking sinister. Often they're the ones who seem the kindest and most understanding. Some watch you with a smile, but behind your back, they plant seeds of doubt. He's a bit strange. She's not really who she seems to be. Some act like they're interested in you, but deep down, it's not you they care about. It's about being in your place. If you joined this project, then I should be part of it too. I said that idea before too, remember? And then there are those who never raise their voice. They never insult you. But one day you realize you feel worthless, empty, and crushed. Their silence is a form of mental manipulation that drains your inner energy. There are 5 main weapons toxic people use, and these weapons are invisible. That's what makes them dangerous. Stay alert, I'm about to list them for you. 1. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is a psychological manipulation tactic that makes you question your own reality and memory. You always exaggerate. If you remember, you were the one who said that. Maybe you're just imagining it. With this tactic, you start doubting your own memories and feelings. In the end, it's not about what actually happened. It's about who sounds more convincing. This is the silencing of your inner voice. Over time, you lose faith in your own truths. The most dangerous part? Gaslighting turns you against yourself. 2. Passive aggression. These people get angry, but never express it directly. Their anger hides behind sarcasm, silence, and the "I'm fine" mask. Of course you know best. Sure, whatever you say, followed by hours of silence. This method traps you in doubt, anxiety, and guilt. And unless you apologize, there will be no peace. 3. Playing the victim. This type of person always plays the innocent one, the victim. It's as if they are always being wronged. Someone else is always to blame. If there's a problem, it's either your fault or someone else's, but never theirs. They always treat me this way. I was just trying to help, and look how it turned out. They use this role to exploit your empathy. The more you step back out of compassion, the more space they take up. 4. Shifting the blame. You set boundaries. You say no. You create distance to protect yourself, and yet they make you feel like the bad person. If I bothered you, sorry. But their tone is dripping with sarcasm. Well, if this is how you are now, then maybe it's better I don't say anything at all. Over time, you start feeling overly responsible, overly considerate, and deeply exhausted. But here's the truth. This weight doesn't belong to you. 5. Constant negativity. This type of person finds a problem in everything. Nothing is ever good enough. No one is ever honest. To them, life itself is a nightmare, and you're stuck on their eternal map of complaints. So what do? You try to help. You try to lift them up. You try to encourage them. But one day, you realize you've completely drained your own energy, because you can't pour water from an empty cup. If you've begun to clearly recognize the patterns I've described, then you've already made it halfway, because recognizing these behaviors is the first form of freedom. You can't control what you don't understand. But once you can name something, you can control it. And if you can name these toxic weapons, you no longer have to surrender to them. Now you know. You're not a silently collapsing victim, you're an aware and powerful observer. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Your power is in your mind, not in external events." Realize this and you will find strength. This simple but profound sentence is the essence of Stoic philosophy, because the Stoics knew, what breaks you is not what others say. What breaks you is the emotional reaction you give to what they say. So how did the Stoics deal with toxic people? They didn't engage, because they understood that toxic people feed off reaction. The angrier you get, the more powerful they become. The more you explain, the more they corner you. The Stoic approach is this: don't play their game. Stay calm but stay alert. How can you apply this in daily life? When toxic people try to provoke you, don't react. Feel that initial emotion but don't act on it. Are they gossiping? Just listen, observe. Throwing passive-aggressive remarks? Smile, stay calm. Trying to control your decisions? Say calmly, "No, I don't see it that way." Your protective responses are simple but powerful. For example, "I'll think about it." This buys you time. Toxic people want quick yeses under pressure. This response breaks their rhythm. "That doesn't work for me." A clear, non-aggressive boundary. No need for insults or explanations. You're simply protecting your right to choose. "We'll talk later." This shields your emotional energy in the moment. It says, "I'm not open to being manipulated right now." Silence. This is your most powerful weapon. Toxic people crave a reaction. When you don't respond, they lose their power. Sometimes silence is the loudest scream. Yes, calmness is not weakness. It's a sign of inner discipline and emotional strength. And most importantly, creating distance is not cruelty. It is self-respect. If someone hurts you, belittles you, and negatively affects you, creating space from them is an act of self-protection. Remember, changing toxic people is not your responsibility, but managing your own reaction, that is your power. And the more you use that power, the less reactive you become, and the more silently influential you grow. Now I'm going to tell you something very important. Sometimes, we are endlessly patient with people simply because we love them too much. We hold on to hope that they'll change one day, that one day they'll understand. Maybe they're just struggling now and that's why they act this way. But with each passing day, you lose more of yourself. The more you hope they'll change, the more you begin to change. First your spirit, then your patience, and finally your self-respect. As painful as it is, the truth is, you cannot heal someone who doesn't want to change. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you will save yourself. Toxic people feed off your pure hope. They know you'll stay quiet again. They know you'll say, "Well, they're human too." They know you'll tell yourself, "I'm a good person, I should be understanding," and force yourself into silence. But remember, being a good person doesn't mean allowing yourself to be crushed. So what should you do in this situation? If you can't change them, change the access you give them. Every person who enters your life comes in with a key, and that key, you gave it to them, which means you have every right to take it back. Here are 3 powerful strategies to do that. 1. Toxic people expect emotional reactions from you. Anger, explanations, justifications. But you must become like a stone, emotionally unshakable. They ask questions. Keep your answers short. They provoke you. Stay cold. They test your limits. Stay silent. This is when the game ends, because you change the rules of the game. 2. Toxic people pressure you emotionally during one-on-one conversations, so avoid being alone with them when possible. If you must talk, keep it short, clear, and in your control. Don't let the conversation go where they want. Keep it where you decide. People who don't respect your time won't respect you. 3. If someone repeatedly hurts you, crosses your boundaries over and over again, you don't need more compassion. You need a decision. Some people are lessons that must completely exit your life. But what if the toxic person is a family member? Yes, this makes things more complicated. You may not be able to physically distance yourself, but you can set emotional boundaries. What does that mean? Don't take everything they say seriously. Don't respond in the exact way they expect. And most importantly, don't confuse their behavior with your worth. Your value is not defined by how they choose to see you. Keep this always in the back of your mind. No one should have permanent access to your mind, your emotions, or your soul. This life is your life, the spirit you've nurtured with effort, the peace that shines inside you. Don't let anyone's poison suffocate that light. Your power begins the moment you say no, and that no may sometimes be the biggest yes to your own healing. Now let me tell you something deeply important. Walking away from a toxic person is not the end. It is the beginning of transformation. Some say, I've already cut them off. I don't talk to them anymore. But what if the version of you that was trained to stay silent still lives inside? If that version is still there, then you risk repeating the same pain again with a different name and face. That's why the real question is this. Why did I stay in that relationship? Why didn't I set boundaries? Why did I mistake pain for love? These are the questions that set you free from emotional dependency. Sometimes they shake you, but awakening from that shake is the start of something new. Where are these answers hiding? In the invisible belief codes shaped in your childhood. If I'm really good, I'll be loved. If I endure enough, the relationship will survive. If I lose myself, maybe they'll notice me. These silent beliefs shape your boundaries, your patience, and your pain tolerance. But now you know. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to protect your peace. And you're allowed to walk away without guilt. Your healing starts now. These codes have trained you to stay silent, to apologize when you're hurt, and to endure being crushed in the name of love. But if someone makes you feel ashamed of yourself, that is not love. If in a relationship you only keep your silence, that is not unity. If your tears outnumber your smiles, that is not worth. What you need today is a change, a turning point. Love should never make you smaller. Attachment should never turn into betrayal of yourself. Patience should not be a ticket to endless suffering. If what makes you laugh has become something someone else tolerates, it's time to walk away. So how do you heal yourself? Not just by cutting people off, but by changing the permissions you give within yourself. Sometimes you think you forgive someone, but really you're trying to calm yourself down. True healing comes after the silent moment of breaking. These steps are your internal cleansing program. Your value does not depend on others' acceptance. You are not valuable because someone says, yes, you matter. You are as valuable as the way you breathe. Listen to the voice inside you. Maybe that voice, silent for years, wants to hear you for the first time today. Throw away the thought, I'm already used to this kind of relationship. That is living asleep. The people who belong in your life should match your inner quality. You should live with the thought, this is what I deserve, not I'll settle for whatever I get. This is not ego, this is standing up for yourself. Sometimes not answering is the strongest answer. Silence is not revenge, it is freedom. You must rise to a level where you no longer say, I will prove this, but I don't need to prove anything. What happens as you heal? You won't fall for the same games again. One message won't change your daily energy. One cold look won't make you question yourself. Because you are no longer a person who just reacts. You are one who chooses. As you heal, toxic people will no longer matter to you. They won't seem wrong. They will seem meaningless. Let me tell you something. Removing a toxic person from your life is like closing a door. But healing yourself is like opening new doors inside. You will no longer stay silent so much. You will no longer drown out your inner voice. You won't make yourself smaller just to keep others around. You teach people how to treat you. You stop toxic people not with arguments but with boundaries. Step away, not with hatred but with wisdom. Speak less, protect yourself more. And remember, silence is not hiding problems. It is not allowing them inside. Thank you for watching until the end. If this video gave you strength, I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel and share it with someone who might need it. Because by doing so, you might help someone else walk away from toxic people too. Don't miss the next video. It's going to be a powerful one. We'll be talking about toxic work environments. Sending love to each of you from the Stoic Master channel.